Well, hello, gentlemen. You just found out that you have won the 2015 Federalist delegate election. How do y'all feel?
Feel good.
Awesome.
Great.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So we're just going to find out a little bit about yourself. So let's start with you on the left, Rob.
Hello, my name is Rob Nickel. I'm running for the state treasurer of the Federalist Party. I am from Lane City, the city of Lane in Marshall County. I go to Blue Valley North High School in Overland Park, Kansas. It's quite a big school of 1,600 students, but in that, I'm the treasurer of the National Honor Society, and also I can handle really big numbers because I got perfect 800s on both the SAT subject test for math 1 and 2. And also I got a 35 on the ACT in the math section. So I can handle these numbers, I can handle the budget, and so that's why I think I'd be a great treasurer.
Hi, I'm Jordan Humphrey. I'm also from the city of Lane in Marshall County, and I'm running for Attorney General. And the reason I feel like I would be the best Attorney General candidate for the boy state of Kansas 2015 is due to my just massive amounts of experience in leadership and also in political leadership. I sit on a student advisory council at a hospital. We have over 1,300 volunteers. We've built that student advisory council up from the bottom. I sit on the executive board, and I'm the executive over mentorship at that council. I'm also the 2-year debate club president, and I was a state octa finalist at the debate state tournament this year, showing that not only do I have leadership ability, but I also have political leadership ability. I know how to argue, and I'm not going to put up with anything that anybody tries to throw at me that is not the truth and is not the way it needs to go.
Hello, I'm Bryce Johnson. I'm representing Marshall County, and I would like to be your governor. First off, I'd just like to say how proud I am of you, of these guys around me. I think we've got a great team here for you, and I think we've got a lot of good things working. I come from Kansas City, Kansas, Leawood, Kansas to be more precise. I go to Kansas City Christian School, which is a tiny private school. I come from a class of about 30 people, and I came to Boys State alone. I really didn't know what to expect from this experience, but as I've talked to all of you guys, I'd really, really like to be your governor because I think that we can do a lot of good things this year that will be remembered for a long time.
My name is Jacob Schlittenhart. I'm running for the Secretary of State position. I come from Wichita, Kansas, and I'm homeschooled. I think that this is a great opportunity, and with my previous leadership skills and my knowledge of the U.S. government, I think that I'd make a great candidate for Secretary of State, and my main goal would be to protect the rights and the freedoms of our Boys State citizens.
I'm Josh Schwartz. I'm from the city of Lane in Marshall County, and I go right here to Manhattan High School. And I'm on the Scholars Bowl team there. I'm on the Science Olympiad team, so I can kind of bring an academic outlook to the position of Insurance Commissioner, which is what I'm running for.
Thank you. All right, now let's get to the real stuff. So, education. We learn in Kansas that, unfortunately, education is becoming less and less affordable and fundable. How do you intend to fix that?
Well, the simple answer is, Kansas, we can't just keep cutting education and hoping to stay on par with the top schools in the country, to stay on par with academically in test scores, whether it's from just math and science to your ACTs and your SATs. We need to stay on par. So our goal as a unified front from Marshall County here, our goal is to put education funding on the map in the state of Kansas, on par academically, to provide the same opportunities, to basically fulfill any obligations people want to be able to study in the state of Kansas and move forward in their education. We're going to put those on par with the top public schools in the nation. And we have multiple different ways of funding that, and to be able to do that while still being able to cut your while still being able to provide an amazing education in the state of Kansas, because that's what we need as an education system, because that builds the leaders of tomorrow.
And if you go around the country, most people think of Kansas as just the dumb farmers from the land of Oz. And so we need to show them that we are much more than that. We are a strongly educated state, and we need to just be pursuing that to the best of our ability. So that's why education is extremely important, and we need to make sure it's fully funded.
And through our education, we not only hope to get students through high school, we hope to find jobs past high school, colleges, make them a good part of the workforce, and make people want Kansans as part of their company.
Thank you. And on the subject of education, how do you intend to reinforce or fix the loss of fine arts classes around the state?
Well, the simple answer is fine arts is a very important thing. It's been statistically proven that people who are involved in band, choir, theater, things of that nature, have a higher IQ, do better in school, take your honors classes. Those are very, very critical things, because there's more to life, there's more to education than simply your math, science, and English classes. So we need to be able to promote that. And by putting us on par with the top schools in the nation, that funding is also going to go to fund those, because we as a unified front do feel like it's a very, very important thing.
Not only that, but fine arts is more than just choir and art and band, but it used to be more wood shop and other shop classes, which has been taken away. And so we want to expand the definition of fine arts to include more students, to give them more outlets to discover maybe different things that they're good at and find more skills and vocations for them.
And give a greater focus on teaching practical skills rather than just like book learning in our public schools.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Also, involving the economy and the shape that it's in, how do you intend to fix the $1 million deficit that we have?
Well, the first thing we're going to have to do is cut taxes, because taxes are so high right now that the government's actually not generating enough revenue. The Laffer curve was developed by an economist named Laffer, and it shows that basically there's a hump where the government's making the most amount of income along the tax range. And a study done by Christina Romer, who's an advanced economist, studied and taught at the University of Chicago, says that the tax rate is about 33%. So we need to lower our taxes down to that mark.
And also through things like welfare reform and things of that nature. The HOPE Act that was just passed by Governor Brownback's office. We need to do things like that to make sure that while welfare is an amazing program and it does some wonderful things, we need to make sure that those funds are being allocated and spent correctly and not frivolously through the state of Kansas. And that's exactly the approach that we are taking to that.
And together, we're going to make sure that the programs that need to be funded will be funded, but the programs that are frivolous, like he said, programs that are extraneous, that we don't need, that are just too bloated, we're going to cut those down and make sure that they're as streamlined as possible.
Thank you. Now, healthcare. Should it be free or should it not be free?
Well, the simple fact of the matter is doctors go to school for 12 years of minimum, basically, to be able to be a doctor. They've put in a lot of hard work. They need to be able to make their money. Nurses, things of that nature, they need to be able to make their money. But the simple fact is, healthcare is way too expensive in this country. Dr. Ben Carson has presented ideas of healthcare savings accounts from when you're born to be able to use that money, almost like a social security account, except from when you're born you can use that to promote it. Socialized healthcare is a good thing. What the Obama administration is doing with forcing it down your throat is not. It's simply not the answer. And I've worked in hospitals. I'm going on my 3rd summer now. I've worked in almost every department, from the ER to transportation, to working in ICUs, to working at the front desk. I've done all sorts of these things. I know what a hospital setting looks like, and I know the complaints that the nurses have had. I know the complaints that the doctors have had. And from that stance, from that ability and that knowledge that I've had, we're going to work together as a unified front to promote that and to make healthcare the best it can be, not only for the doctors, but also for the citizenry.
And obviously, health insurance is a major component of the insurance field. So as insurance commissioner, I would make sure that health insurance is like as streamlined a process as possible, and that consumers have knowledge of all of their possible healthcare options.
And we're going to be looking at healthcare on a state-by-state basis. So unlike Obamacare, which puts a blanket over the whole country, we're saying that each state is its own individual thing, and we're going to decide what's best for Kansas, not what's best for, say, all of America.
Thank you. Switching gears to a completely different subject, the matter of renewable energy. Should Kansas promote nuclear energy?
I think nuclear energy is a fantastic idea. It used to not be very safe. There used to be problems, people would be scared of it, but we've found ways to make it a very safe energy and a very plentiful energy source. So it can help save natural gas, low pollution. Well, I think that Kansas should definitely move forward in utilizing nuclear energy.
And also with nuclear energy, we're past the days of Chernobyl back in the 40s and 50s. And so now we have ways of dealing with all this new sort of nuclear waste. People down at Missouri S&T have been developing different glasses you can put it in that are safe to be stored. They're not going to crack, not going to leak. And I'm sure various universities across the country and across the world, they've developed ways to handle all this nuclear waste. And so it's a really efficient energy. It provides no sort of CO2 emissions. And if you can treat the nuclear waste, if you can handle that, then it's great for the environment. So we should definitely be endorsing that and be figuring out how to implement that.
Nuclear energy is definitely the safest and most functional way to produce energy.
And if we're being honest with ourselves, we cannot continue to use non-renewable resources forever. Eventually, it's going to come to the point where we run out of coal or oil or whatever we may be using. And the thing is, all energy comes with its own inherent problems, whether it's oil spills in the Gulf or just the fact of CO2 emissions from burning coal. So the thing is, Kansas needs to be on the forefront of renewable energy, and nuclear energy is one of the greatest components of that, as well as wind energy and solar energy.
And it brings jobs to Kansas, and that's something that we need to have to boost our economy, to boost our schools, everything. It brings jobs to Kansas, and that's enough reason right there to do it.
Thank you, gentlemen. That'll be all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's been very enjoyable.
Thanks.